In your exercise files, go ahead and open up 2Yellow PSD. I'm actually going to show you two ways that we might be able to work on this image and fix it. Now, I've got the Layers panel open, and like our previous lesson, I've divided the image into two pieces so we can kind of watch the process. Select the left layer, and then come over to this button right here again and choose the same option we used in the previous lesson, and that is color balance. Color casts come from a lot of different places. Primarily, they come from using the wrong film in a traditional film camera or getting the color temperature settings wrong on your digital camera. Either way, they're not that difficult to fix, and they usually fall within the category of main colors. Well, for example, in this case, this was a traditional film image taken about 15 years ago, and it's too yellow. Well, if it's too yellow, guess what it needs? It needs blue. So just to show you this really quick, and then I'm going to show you another way you might do it. We're going to come over here and grab the slider, and we'll move it this way. And as we do, you'll notice how it begins correcting the image. Now we go too far. Let's go back to about 80 or about 75. Let's try about 75. Now there is a little bit of red in there that I don't want. So what I'm going to do is come up to cyan. Don't forget, we're doing this manually right now. Everything is by our eyes and a calibrated monitor. And we're going to come over here. We're going to move this way. Give that a little bit of cyan. So, looks like we fixed it pretty good. If we take color balance and move it up here, we can see both ends and have done a pretty good job. But I want to show you a second way you might do this. This is a precursor to some of the stuff we're going to be doing when we get into levels and curves. But it's a quick, down and dirty way to get started. So let's turn off color balance. Let's leave it there so we can see the before and the after. Come over here into your adjustments area. Don't forget, I am in Essentials, and that's why I see this stuff right here. Click this one right here. That's levels. Now, we haven't talked about levels yet, but we will get into it. I want to talk about just the eyedroppers over here, just real quick. These eyedroppers are different than the ones, say, in Bridge. In Bridge, the eyedropper, when you click, no matter where you click, if it's a neutral area, will actually color correct the image. These are very specific. If you use the black eyedropper, you better be clicking somewhere black or white. But this one, the neutral or the midtone, sometimes this one can surprise you on what it can do. Now, what I'm looking for in this image is an area that really has no color. Now, there are a lot of rocks, but those rocks do have some color in them. Now, this might look a little bit more blown out to you than it does to me. That's not black up there. I can see some detail. But because of the shadow areas, when the photograph was taken, there was probably no color up there at all. It's a neutral area. If I click here, see what it did? Isn't that cool? Now, in subsequent chapters, we're going to talk a whole lot more about why that gray eyedropper did what it did. But sometimes you're working on color correcting an image manually. You just can't get exactly the colors in balance the way you think they should be. Popping open levels and using that middle gray eyedropper can give you a start, if not actually wholly correct the image for you. On to the next.